thing, one of the many things I admired about you was your ability you just didn't sell for the craziness publicly. Like the mind F, and boy, man, I saw a lot of it with you. I heard a lot of it with management, and you were just the Fonz, man, cool as a cucumber. Behind closed doors, I don't know, but I know OVW when before the circus packed up the tent poles and left town in February 2008 to go to Tampa for FCW, you immediately raised your hand, did you not?
Was that the weather? The weather was great, but I think at the time I was driving from my parents' house back and forth. It's almost exactly a 5-hour drive to Louisville from Cleveland. And I would come down. I think I would do TV and then whatever live events there were that weekend, and then go back like Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, at my parents' house. And while I was like trying to figure it out, I was sitting at home, but I didn't want to ever be sitting at home. But he's like, we don't need you here. But also like, I want to do everything I can to keep my job. And once it was found out it was going to Florida, I even said, I go, hey guys, I went to the office. I go, can I go be a part of this thing? Like, this is my dream job and I'm sitting at home and I don't want it to end this way. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, whatever, we don't care. And it ended up being like, man, Kern and Dr. Tom, which couldn't have been the cooler dudes ever to have to learn from, and inside and outside of the stuff. But yeah. That was I go, hey man, I'm happy to go do anything. And then friggin' Dusty, I got friggin' Dusty down there. So it's Dusty, Kern, and Dr. Tom, and eventually 10,000 other people. But it was so cool to have guys that I looked up to, and then like if they said something positive about you, you're like, Dusty just said that was a good promo. Like, are you kidding me? Like Dusty Rhodes, like this is real. So and a quick Dusty thing, like we worked when I was really, really bad on TV as I was in the Spirit Squad and still really bad at my job, but learning and could listen. But we worked like a 7-minute match on Raw, and he was already being really too kind to me a lot of times, talking to the office or anybody who came down. It's like, there ain't nobody better, baby! And it was the greatest, and I heard him saying this, and I go, I can't believe this is real. But we worked a 7-minute match. I was really bad. He was great. And he always had it. It was a couple of years went by. He was like, that number, we had the highest number on Raw, baby. And like, so it became like less that I'm good at learning, more like we outdrew the champ that night or something. And by we, Dusty outdrew the champ. And I was also there. Like, so we always had that. So it was an extra nice thing to see him because he was so happy that we had done well, you know.
I felt like and maybe you feel this way as well, but that move was so smart. It kind of, just from the outside looking in, I got picked up to be Dusty's assistant in April 2008. So when I got down to Tampa, keep in mind, like from Louisville, where you had the Spirit Squad, and then they did the infamous ship them back to Louisville. That made everybody look great. And but you hung on, and you tried. You were trying different things. You were going for it, and then you made and like I was like, I'm not sure what's going on down there. I get down there. Holy shit, man! The natural NIC NEMETH is the guy. He was, you were the guy. You were. The hair was bleach blonde and long. Like, I'm going, he's putting it all together right now, man. Did you feel that change happening in real time? And what were the hurdles into becoming Dolph Ziggler?
So I was going above and beyond, and that was a big time where this crosses over a little bit OVW and here, though. A lot of people were. Randy was like the youngest world champ, 24 years old, short black hair, black trunks, no expression on his face, like a statue. And I think everybody wanted to do that. So I went above and beyond to go like pink latex vest, blonde pigtails. And when someone throws me over the top, I'm like, "Wah!" Like, and then we get back to it. I could choke somebody out or something, like, and like backing it up. But I did get a little comfortable. Like I felt comfortable for the first time. Like like every 2 years, I'll look back at my work, including right now, and be like, oh, I got it figured out. I'm pretty damn good. And I'll look back 2 years ago, and I'll be like, oh God, that's horrific. Oh, I can't believe I was in this spot when I should like. So every 2 year or two, I look back and you're like embarrassed at your work because you want it to be the best ever. But like I finally felt comfortable enough to where like if something was going wrong, I could take over in the ring. I didn't need somebody older who had been around longer to be like, hey, listen to me, we'll figure this out. Like, oh, Randy's shoulder just came out. Okay, Randy, you want me to slowly pull you over and we'll just put a hold on? Or you go, no, I can still hit my finish. Okay, buddy, no problem. Like that kind of stuff to where that it's like not just felt good, it started to like excite me because the regular part was getting not boring, but it was easy. And it's like, oh, we got 8 minutes, just went to 3.5. Oh, no problem. You do this, I'll be here. Duck this and hit the thing. Okay, great. That kind of stuff. So and then that is where Dusty gave me an opportunity to do some talking and some wrestling and told the office to give me a shot. And I think what really helped was Cena coming to one of the bar shows that we did, which was
Bourbon Street.
I was gonna say the thing in New Orleans, yeah, a bar in Florida, Dollar Drafts, which me and Brad Attitude be right after our match, we'd finish the rest of the night out there, us and Lucia, having a great time. Who
He said, "Ooh."
At one time, she was a very nice looking lady who had been around and a bartender and didn't take any crap from anyone. And one time I had enough Dollar Drafts to ask for the digits, and I got the number, and I texted it with a couple friends. I was like, I'm texting her this, and it goes, "This is a landline." And I went, man, she really is a lady who's been around for a while. And it was like, this is truly the different generations. And I go, and it's a great story to this day. Like, you have just texted a landline. I went, yeah, man. I thought I was old for developmental, but she's got us all beat. Yeah.
Jesus.
Because if I was like 26 or 7, she was, 45, something like that. Yeah. And like hard nosed, like, yeah. So I love that it was a landline. That made my day. But we'd have those Dollar Drafts, and some people were still afraid to be vulnerable. Everybody had to be tough and look cool. And Brad and I would come out, and I would sing the lyrics to JC Chazé, All Day Long I Dream About Sex as my promo. And I emphasized my tan line and did something. It was Big Rob Terry was watching my back one night, and someone would flip me in the air or throw me out of the ring, and he caught me, and I was caught in his arms, and he saved me a couple different times, some 5 or 6 minute match. And Cena had happened to be there, and without telling me or saying anything, the next week I was having a dark match. So I don't think that's coincidence. I would assume that he said, hey, let's go with something here, because eventually we were trying some stuff out together. So that was pretty wild.
I can't tell you how, well, I can tell you now, but I couldn't back then, how many reports like I'd write for Dusty to send up to the office on the guys. And it was just progressively getting more frustrated from Dusty about you. It was like, he's ready. He's ready. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Let's reel it in or cut bait, because he can't get there's nothing else left to do here.
And that actually kind of ties into what I was saying. Like, yeah. I'm not Triple H, but when I was in the Spirit Squad, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are helping us and going, hey guys, wait, do this here, all these little inside things. And then I'm not the greatest, but at the time there wasn't too many people there who could help me learn something new. So that all kind of seems to add up at that point.
I mean, if people at home may not understand that, the way you get better is by working those who are better. That's the only way. Otherwise, you're just hanging around, kind of smelling your own farts. And and what really, really helped, as much as I did like 2 years of training and 6 months learning when I was brand new. Like, I've said this a million times, but dude, every week, like Hunter and Sean were basically active, kind of full-time guys. And for 6 months of that year run, we worked them every weekend. So it was either
Flair and Shawn, Flair and Hunter, Shawn and Hunter, Shawn and Flair, and it was like three of the greatest of all time are teaching me every weekend what to do. So it's like I'm getting that, and yeah, I can pass it down a little bit, but there's at some point there's no reason for me to be like Shawn Spears. Those guys were like way better than me. We were like both heels, so he wouldn't be able to help me or something, you know. So it was like at some point I need that full time with these guys because that's making me way better.
But that was the the cream of the crop of that class in that period of time. It was you, it was Spears, it was Teddy Jr., Ted DiBiase Jr., it was Hager, it was that I'm probably forgetting a few people, but it was TJ.
Yeah, I always forget names, but yeah, there's killers and those guys, and like looked the part, and like especially for developmental, like man, these guys are friggin' good. This is crazy, you know.
It was nuts. So the thing that Dream used to always say was, and I don't know if this is true, but he used to say, Vince McMahon had said, if he didn't already have Kurt Hennig, you would have been Mr. Perfect. And I'm like, well, I don't know, like let the man be himself, like
right.
I because there's so many, you are a hybrid of so many great performers. I feel like there's Michaels and there's Perfect and there's a fair share of Bockwinkel in there.
About time. I know Perfect and Shawn get everything. Every chance I get, not just with you, but let's. I can't even break it down that well. But Bockwinkel talking, the mannerisms, looking the part, acting the part, being able to tie somebody up and punch him in the mouth, and he doesn't get as much fanfare because he wasn't WWF for 20 years. You know what I mean? And so many people only know that because that was national TV. But when you go back, dude, Bockwinkel and Bobby the Brain, like even his work, like in the like wrestling. It's hard to top. So let's give Bockwinkel some due to people who only know like 80s and 90s national TV. Like so smart. He looked like a professor, and he could kick your ass. Like beautiful, and then absolute champion, pure white hot heat. A shot with him with the stogie. Oh, dynamite! But him and a young Perfect doing like an hour Broadway or something. I think it was AWA TV. Or they did it once. You could go back and it's beautiful. There's real shoot wrestling. There's like going back to things and the story. It's beautiful. And Hennig doesn't get too much fanfare. Perfect does because he's WWF and WCW. But man, two of my absolute favorites I watched was a lot of people say Shawn could do a super kick and sell well, but like I didn't really watch Shawn stuff. I watched Bockwinkel and AWA and Hennig and that kind of stuff that I loved.